I am in Hungary alone with Sebastian. Sean just flew out on a plane this morning to head to Boston, which was one of the cheapest places he could fly into from Budapest into the U.S. Yeah, you did. And the reason that he flew into Boston, he was only going to be there for 2 days. Yes, you can sit with Mama. Is because of our Google Fi phone plan. Now, some of you might remember, if you listen to anything I have to say about anything, that when we were in Mexico and Shibi was being born, we were notified by T-Mobile, who we'd been customers of for 15 years, that we were out of the country too long, and they were just going to turn off our service. There was no like, hey, you have a month, and you need to go back into the States, and once you do, you're good. It was, we're canceling you for being out of the country too long. And the problem is that before we bought new phones, we had bought new iPhones. Before we did that, we had been shopping plans like the 6 months before we were going to leave. We'd been looking and looking and looking, trying to find any company that would allow us to be able to travel internationally for a year or more without any service issues. And the reason is we needed it for our business, our team, our family, and just to be able to stay in contact with people and have consistent phone numbers instead of trying to get new SIM cards every place we went and blah, blah, blah. Sebastian, please stop. Anywho, so this guy, all he's got is me right now, so I can't make a video by myself very much, right, buddy? Right. Anyway, so they canceled us, and we went with Cricket Wireless when we moved to California 2 months later for our son to help him with his career. And we were with them, which was like a prepaid, thing. It was like $150 for 3 phones, $50 a month for unlimited data and stuff. So that was great. But then when we knew that we were going to leave again with Sebastian, we also wanted new phones and things like that. We'd had our other phones for 3 years, and it was time to upgrade and get better photo quality and videos and stuff. But we searched and searched and searched, and I found Google Fi. And I read reviews, and there were other people like us who'd been traveling and full-time travelers, and they said it was amazing, awesome service, all this stuff. So we called Google Fi just to verify that there's no issue with, there's no requirements to come back into the States, they wouldn't just cancel us. And I mean, we called because of the T-Mobile situation and how much research we did and how many times we called, and they were our current carrier for 15 years. We're like, okay, we're gonna double, extra, triple, quadruple check. So we did. And you know how you get those little privacy policy updates, when you log into one of your apps and you just, you scan through it, but you kind of click through it and you don't read every fine detail because it's a contract? Well, apparently we did that in November. Apparently Google Fi. So we've been traveling since June, and we bought new phones with them in April. And we've been traveling. We traveled the U.S. for 2 months, and then we left the country in August of 2019. And last month, on the 25th of January, I received a message saying that, hey, we see that you've been out of the country for 5 months, so you have 30 days to get into a U.S. Area. Otherwise, we will have to take away. You'll still be able to use your phone and pay for international calls, but you won't have roaming anymore, no data. And that's kind of the most important part of our thing. We don't really, the data is what we need. We need to be on our email. We need to have access. We need to be able to talk to our kids. And one of our kids, we talk to them on WhatsApp and other programs and Facebook, Messenger, and stuff like that. And, being a travel blogger now and doing things like that, kind of need the internet, Wi-Fi, stuff like that. So we called them, and we were like, so what changed? And apparently in November, the company, in its infinite wisdom, decided that they were no longer going to allow, just the handful. There cannot be a gazillion travelers like us, but to take the handful of travelers that do what we do and implement a 6-month rule. So they, in November, implemented a 6-month rule and did not grandfather any of the past customers in who'd been, touting them. I'd been telling anyone who'd listened that, Google Fi was awesome, and that's if they wanted to, in other Facebook groups that I was in, telling them Google Fi's, definitely been awesome, great service, all this stuff. Not a problem if you're traveling for 6 months or, a year or whatever. Anyway, I called them, I talked to different supervisors, and then I even had to file a request for it to go higher up the chain, and it took less than 24 hours to get a response of, no, we are not going to grandfather you in, regardless. And are you smiling at yourself, buddy? You are ridiculous. Anyway, so now, long story short, or long, whatever. Sean, we decided that we were going to maybe send our phones to our daughter in Seattle and just have her have them on for a day or so, because they told us over the phone that all we had to do was be in the U.S. for like 24 hours just to be able to connect and show that we are in there, and then we can have another 6 months of international roaming and all that. So we're like, okay, we'll just send our phones to our daughter. And then the more I thought about it, I read reports of like, okay, sometimes phones are confiscated because they think they might be used for terrorist activities, just sending cell phones in the mail and all this other stuff. And I was like, with the cost of, then we'd have to insure it and send it through DHL and all this stuff. So we'd be without those phones for quite a while. I have to get SIM cards because we do have, like, what I'm doing this video on right now is my old iPhone, the same iPhones that Sean and I had with T-Mobile that we had bought. I bought a SIM card here in Hungary so that I could use it while Sean is in Boston. And be nice, please. Be nice. Don't hit Mama. Okay? Hey, be nice, please. Thank you. Okay. Yes. So anyway, we decided that, for just a little bit extra and a little peace of mind, and we needed some Aveeno lotion and some other things that they do not have here in Eastern Europe at all. So we're just like, you know what? For almost a similar price, it would be like $100 more than to ship it and all this stuff, and then to have our daughter ship it back. I mean, it wasn't just the cost of shipping it to her, it would then be having her ship it back to us. So we're like, you know what? Screw this. Let's just fly you back. We'll send you Sean, and you go spend, which do you want to go to, New York or Boston? Those were the two cheapest places to go. And he picked Boston. He'd never been to Boston. So he is on a plane right now to Turkey to do a connecting flight to Boston so that he can have our phones in the U.S. for 2 days. And that cost us $600. Thank you, Google Fi, for that, and for sticking it to your customers and not having a grandfather policy. And next time I have to look for a new phone company or a new phone plan, I'll remember this. I mean, at least you're better than T-Mobile, who just does it after 15 years of long-term customers who paid religiously every month for 4 phones. 4. Us and our 2 teenagers just shut off the service. So thank you for that, at least, not just giving us the whole middle finger, But it's kind of like a half finger, like a sideways finger maybe that you're giving your customers. And then I did the customer feedback information. I was told that, customer feedback is really important and that the executives actually listen. So, anyway, I'm just posting this so that anyone else who found that Google Fi is going to be the answer to any long-term travelers or people who travel for business full-time and hop from country to country like we do, no, that's not the case. You can't go longer than 6 months. And I have no problem if we were told it was 6 months, because then we could plan. Or if there was a message beyond just a privacy policy that you check, where you have to read the entire huge contract and make sure that you notice that little section. It doesn't even say in that section that I went back and looked at that you only could be in for 6 months. So there's still nothing that actually explicitly says that. So that's really disappointing. But anyway, just thought I'd share for any of you people who want to do long-term travel. It might be better just to get some SIM cards and hop around and use WhatsApp and Google Messenger and or Facebook Messenger and other apps if you don't care about having a set phone number, because that will change every time you get a new SIM card. So that's where I'm at.